Whoa. That's it, we're up, we're live. Oh, let's wait for some people to jump on and answer some questions. If you're watching this back previously, ignore me. If you're watching this back not live, then thank you for watching. I do the weekly Q&As every week. Hello Zorhan, hello Tom, good to have you in here. I do the weekly Q&As every week, normally on a Thursday at 5 p.m. UK time. Hiya Harrison, nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. I normally do them Thursday, 5 p.m. UK time, but last Thursday was my birthday, so unfortunately I was a little bit busy, wasn't able to do the Q&A. This Thursday, sorry, I'm doing something else. I've got training tomorrow at this time, so I'm going to do it a day early. I put it up on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go and follow me there, and I normally say when the Q&A is going. Right, guys, good to see you all. Nice to see you. Ollie, good to see you. Diego, how are you? Harrison, nice to see you. We're going to do some Q&As, so any questions you have, ask away, and I'll try my best to answer. First of all, though, Zach, nice to see you. If you are not already a patron, become a patron. Follow the link to become a patron. But if you are a patron, I answer your questions first. So I have two questions from Lisa, who is a patron, so I'm going to answer her questions first. Then I'm going to ask you guys for your questions. So first question is, how have you found the Gibraltarian football in terms of competitiveness and identity? In Gibraltar, it is different to the UK. It's different to how I've played before. So in Gibraltar, you obviously have 2 or 3 big teams like St Joseph's, Lincoln, Europa, and they've done very well in the league in previous years. They've gone to Champions League qualifiers, Europa League qualifiers. They have a lot of money, they're full-time, that kind of thing. Then you have other teams who are part-time and don't have the same resources. So it is difficult to compete with those bigger teams. But as we've seen this year, there are some clubs that are starting to push them and break them. So in terms of the football in Gibraltar, I think it's very mixed. I think some teams are more direct, some teams play more football. It's interesting playing every game on the same pitch, on the same AstroTurf, and not playing on grass. That's something obviously that in the UK I've been playing on grass most of the time. So getting used to playing on AstroTurf has been a bit different. So it is very different to the UK. But I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying learning about it, developing my game, and trying to show what I can do. And the second question from Lisa is, what professional goals have you set for the season? I'm going to do a video on this, talking about goal setting, talking about sports psychology, because I have a certain way of setting goals for a season. But this year, the goals that I've set, I've actually got them here, one second. So this is my book that you'll know if you watch the analysis video I did in series 2. But this is where I put all my goals, all my analysis of games, all that kind of stuff. And I basically set ultimate goals, product goals, and then process goals. And ultimate goals are the things that you want to achieve in life. So for my ultimate goals in football, I want to play for Manchester United, my team. I want to play international football, and I want to play in the Premier League or in La Liga. Those are my ultimate goals as a footballer. You then take it down to product goals, and this is the goals, Lisa, for my series, for this season, sorry. And my goals for this season are to try and play 30 games and keep 12 clean sheets. And then to have my success rate in terms of shots at 85%, cross success at 90%, short pass accuracy 100%, and long pass accuracy 65%. I then have process goals with things that I do each day to make sure I get better at that, including sleeping 9 hours a night, 2 gym sessions a week, 2 goalkeeper sessions a week, all those things which help me achieve my product goals, which will then help me achieve my ultimate goals. So those are my goals for this year. It's a bit of a different model, but that's how I do it. So if you guys want to have your questions answered first before anyone else's, make sure you become a patron at the Patreon page, which is linked in every video that I put on YouTube. So now you guys ask your questions and I will do my best to answer them. Probably got about 20 minutes, so I'll answer as many as I possibly can. So fire away, ask a question, and I will try my best to answer them. You train twice a week? No, I train with my team 4 times a week. I train individually in the gym twice a week, and then I also train individually with a goalkeeper coach. Well, I aim to train with a goalkeeper coach once or twice a week as well. So overall, I don't know what that is, 8 times a week, and then I've got my game obviously at the weekend. How many games are in my league? Well, there's 12 teams in my league, so I play everyone once first, which is 11 games before Christmas. Then at Christmas, the league splits in half, and depending which half of the league you're in, you then play everyone in that half twice again, so that would be 10. So overall, 21 games in the season. Best way of stopping gloves from smelling: wash them, Samuel. So I wash my gloves after every training session, after every game. Just take them in the shower, use a little nail brush, and just wash them that way, and then they don't smell as much, and they also stay grippy. How many gloves do you use in a season? Gloves, difficult, because now training on Astro, playing on Astro, they get a bit more damaged, but I normally do about a pair a month is normally what I go through in terms of gloves. Next question. Would you play in League of Ireland? Yeah, I'd love to play in Ireland. Would love it. Watching the rugby. I haven't watched any of the rugby yet. I want to watch it, so I'm sure I'll watch it the more it goes through the series, the tournament, sorry. What do you do in your spare time? I make videos. That's been taking up a lot of my time recently, filming and editing videos for you guys, which I hope you enjoy, but that's normally what I do in my spare time. Best way to deal with the wind in matches. That's difficult, especially in Gibraltar, because there's very strong wind coming in off the sea and off the airport. So I've found, especially with kicking, if you're kicking against the wind, you don't want the ball to go high because then it gets caught in the wind and it stops. You want to drive it low through the wind. What's next? Will you stay at Europa Point next year? Who knows? We'll see. Football's a strange game, but I'm enjoying my time here, definitely. Did I always want to be a goalkeeper? Yes. Always wanted to be a keeper. I used to love diving around in the mud. My brother is a striker, so we used to spend a lot of time in the garden. He would just shoot at me for hours and I'd just make saves and dive in the mud. Tips for moving into the big goals. Zohan, don't worry about it. Just practice and play as many games as you can and you'll get used to it. And the more that you train, the more you'll get used to the size. First time in Gibraltar? Yes, it's the first time I've ever been to Gibraltar this year. And I'm loving it so far, and it was great to meet you the other day as well. My preferred team, Man United are my team. Favourite pro goalkeeper to watch? At the minute, I love watching Ter Stegen and Jan Oblak. They're incredible. Do I communicate to my team in Spanish or English? Mix of both. I have some players that can only speak Spanish. I have some players that can only speak English. I have some players that can speak both. And for me, I'm lucky enough to be able to speak Spanish and English. And that way I can communicate with everyone, which is definitely helpful. Spiros, nice to see you, mate. Ivo, yes, De Gea is a great keeper. Team I dream of playing for, Man United, they're my team. Boots that I wear Nike Tempo boots. Love the comfort for them. Do I strap my fingers, take my fingers? I don't take my fingers. I try and make sure that I just concentrate on using my hands and not putting too much protection on them. If I have an injury, then I'll take them up and look after it, but normally I'll just leave it as my hands. My next game is this Saturday. We have a game at 4 p.m. on Saturday against Mons Calpe, which is a huge game for us, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got training tonight, Thursday, Friday, and then game Saturday. Have you ever broken your thumb? Touch wood, I haven't broken my thumb from keeping. Leno or De Gea at the minute? I didn't watch the game, Ollie, to be fair. I didn't watch the United game. I've been struggling to watch the so far. I was at training for that game, but I'm not sure how either of them are performing, to be honest. Cheers, Spiros. I'm glad it's helped. Best team in Gibraltar? I think the team top of the league at the minute is Lynx, so they're doing very well. Yeah, we'll see you down at the stadium. That's good. I'm glad you'll come. Lloris had a nightmare for Tottenham last night. I didn't see his performance, but for Tottenham, yeah, bad result. Since when did I play football? Since I was a kid. As long as I can remember, I've played football. Who records my match? I record my match, so I take along a little GoPro camera and I get someone from the club to record the game so that I can analyse how I've played and I can share the footage with my team and my coaches so that they can analyse obviously how they've played as well, and filming games is hugely important for me to develop as a player. Have you ever played cricket? I did when I was a kid. They took me along to a cricket tournament because they thought I could catch because I was a goalkeeper. And I was catching, that was fine. It was when I came to bat and I was terrible. I think I was out for 0. How often do you train? Ben, I try and train every day. I'll normally have 1 game day, 1 rest day, so then 5 days a week. I'll try and train at least once or twice, 5 days a week. So between 8 and 10 sessions. Have I ever been to watch United? Yes, I have. I was fortunate enough when I was a kid that my dad and my granddad had season tickets, so I used to go and watch a lot when I was young, and that was when we were brilliant, and so that was a great time to go and watch while we were winning titles. Did you ever think you were good enough to make it pro? Yeah, and I do at the minute. That's what I'm working for. That's what I'm trying to achieve, so I keep trying to improve and learn so that I can make it as a professional. Any more questions, let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them. What gloves have the best grip? I'm not sure, Ian. I haven't tried all the gloves, so I'm not sure. Alisson or Ederson? For me, Alisson just because he's very, very consistent over the last year, but Ederson is ridiculous with his feet. One of the most relaxed keepers I've ever seen. Thoughts on Royce gloves? I wore Royce when I was young, when I was a kid. I remember when I was in English class, we were supposed to decorate our books, our workbooks, to protect them, and I just stuck pictures of Royce gloves all over my English book. And I wore Royce gloves then and loved them. They were quite firm, they were quite stiff though, and then I changed to Adidas, so I haven't worn them for a long time. But yeah, they were great gloves back in the day when I used to wear them. I'm sure they're very, very good now. Favourite women's football player? Good question, very good question. I enjoyed watching the World Cup a lot, and obviously I was watching the keepers, watching how they played, watched England a fair bit in the World Cup, and I think, I can't remember the name, the woman who played centre back, I can't remember her name, but she was a great player for England. I can't remember that, but Karen Bardsley and the keepers, I enjoyed watching them as well, so they're great players. Team do I support? Colonel, I support United, Man United. If you play in the Premier League, will you still do YouTube? I don't know, maybe, we'll see. See if it's allowed. Steph Horton was the captain, but there was another girl that played centre-back alongside her, and she was brilliant, dark hair. I can't remember her name, but yeah, Steph Horton did play very well as well. Any more questions, shoot them through and I will try my best to answer them. Lucy Bronze, well remembered, great player. Would you move to Australia if you had an offer to play pro? Yes, Ben, I'd love to play in Australia. I want to play in as many places as I can around the world, and Australia is definitely one of them. Think finger saves, gloves, never worn them myself, don't really like them. Ilias, 3 points this weekend, 100%. Where were you at 14 years of age? At 14, Hubert, I was playing for Macclesfield Town under 14s. So yeah, we had quite a good team then. We used to play Man City, Man United, Everton, Liverpool, other teams in the northwest of England, and we used to get some good results against them. But yeah, no, that was a good time. What's the best thing about living in Spain? The weather's pretty good. So at the minute today it's October and it's been 28 degrees, so that's been pretty nice. I live pretty close to the sea, so I enjoy. Last night I went for a run by the sea, which was very, very enjoyable, and the Spanish kind of culture is very laid back, and I enjoy that as well. Adam, what height are you? I'm 1 meter 82 centimeters, so I'm not sure what that is in feet, but you'd have to go and give that a check. What languages do you speak? Jacob, I speak Spanish pretty well. I'm not fluent by any means, but I'm pretty good, and obviously English, and I don't speak any others. I did German GCSE and got a B, which was, I don't know how I got a B. I'm not very good at German. But yeah, at the minute only Spanish and English, but I'd like to learn Italian, and I'd like to learn some other languages as well, especially if I play in those countries. Spurs versus Bayern. I didn't watch the game, unfortunately, but it looked like a bit of a demolition. Ollie, each night I try and sleep 9 hours a night. That's what I've found is my best amount of time to help me perform well the next day, both physically and mentally. So I normally try and get 9 hours sleep each night. Am I going to watch Barca tonight? I'm not. I would love to watch Barca, but I'm training. You kind of find this when you are a footballer. You train and play, obviously, at the same time as the pro teams train and play and the top teams. So you often miss their games and you don't get to watch them as often as you would like to. So that's a bit of a unfortunate result, obviously. Would I like to play for Celtic? Yes, Callum, I'd love to play for Celtic. Huge club. Maybe one day. Is Brexit going to be a problem for you in Gibraltar if it happens in October? It could be. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to deal with it as it comes, to be honest. Toughest competition you've ever faced? I trained with Ashraf Hakimi from Real Madrid, and he was an unbelievable player. I've trained with other top players, Wes Brown, Shay Given, who were incredible, but playing against them in a match, I'm not sure who the toughest one is. I played against a lad who played for Everton when I was a kid, who scored 2 or 3, and he was ridiculous. Biggest difference between an average goalkeeper and a pro goalkeeper? Very, very good question. I've found when I train with the best keepers, what they do is they do the basics 100% right. They never drop a shot. They don't make any mistakes. Their positioning is very, very good. They do the basics extremely well, whether that's with their feet or with their hands. Everything that's basic is very, very clean and fast. They might not pull out incredible saves all the time, but the basics are done very, very well, which is the most important thing. And I think the biggest difference between a pro and an average goalkeeper. Keep going. Any other questions you have, let me know. Who's the best player on your new team? We've got a few good players, Callum. You'll have to come and watch us play. What's your favourite meal? Good question. I'm not sure. I don't really know. Should I become a patron? If you want to, Ben, it's an option. Go and have a look at the page and see if you want any of the extra bonus content that's on there. How do you bounce back from a heavy defeat? George, go and watch the video I did, episode 2 of series 3 of Keeping Goals. That was all about bouncing back from defeat, and hopefully that should help. Does your club have an analyst? I'm not sure if he wants to come every time. I'm sure he can be an analyst, but obviously his work is incredible, so he can keep coming and keep helping us move forward as a team. Does your contract earn you enough to get by? How is it for you? I have to do other work to live. It's as simple as that. I'm not at that level where I'm earning enough money to be a full-time footballer, but obviously earning any money from football is a huge privilege and something I'm very, very grateful for. Favourite goalkeeper in the world? My favourite goalkeeper is Marc-Andre Ter Stegen at Barcelona. Just unbelievable keeper. His ability with his feet is unbelievable. Have you visited Estepona's famous terrible slide? No, I haven't, Thomas. What's that? I haven't seen that. How long does it take to become a pro by a beginner? I'm still trying, and I'm 24, so it can take a long time, but you have to put in a lot of work. Do you think you're the best goalkeeper in your league? There's a lot of goalkeepers in this league, but my aim is by the end of this season to be recognised as the best keeper in this league. That is what I'm working for, so I'll leave it to others to judge, but that's my aim and that's what I'm trying very hard to do, and to obviously help my team in the process do as well as we possibly can. Do you think you can make it to top pro clubs in the world? That's my aim. That's why I'm working. I don't really look at where I'm trying to go. I instead try and work hard every single day to get better. So I learn, I improve, I train, I get better, and then hopefully that will come to me. How was the transition phase from English to Gibraltarian football? It was different. Obviously there were a lot of different factors, but I'm enjoying it. Varying kickoff times and match days difficult to it. Yeah, Jimmy, that's a good question. So in Gibraltar, obviously, everyone plays in the same stadium, so it's a very nice stadium, brilliant pitch, but it means that the games are spread out throughout the week. So one day you could play on a Wednesday, you could play on a Saturday, play early afternoon, play late at night. So you have to just adapt your week, obviously, to fit the game. But I normally have a program based around a week build up to a game, so I just move it depending when the game is, so it's not too difficult to adapt to. What team did you play for in England? Jacob, I played for Macclesfield Town from the age of 12 to 19. I then played for Loughborough University, which was my university in England at 20, 21. Played in Spain at 22, back at Loughborough 23, and then obviously out here now, 24. I heard you have the best analyst in the league. Is this true? Well, he'll have to keep showing up and prove that he is the best analyst in the league. How do you deal with rejection from clubs and academies if they look like your only option? Rejection's tough. It happens to all of us. It's happened to me. It happens to everyone. So you have to make sure you keep working hard and improving and keep trying to get in front of people. Keep contacting them, because you'll get 100 no's, but the 101st one will be a yes, and that's the most important thing. Best player you've ever played with? Oh dear. I'm not sure. I've played with lots of good players, which is very good. How much time do you spend training per week? I think I answered this one before, but I normally aim to train, so I have one rest day a week, one game day a week, and then I'll have 5 days where I train, and I try and train at least once or twice in those 5 days. So between 8 to 10 times a week I'll train, and then I'll have my game as well. That'll be a mix of training with my team, training with my goalkeeper coach, training in the gym, a mix of sessions depending what I need. How do you keep yourself confident when things get tough? Good question, Liam. The focus for me when things are tough is improving. If I can see myself working and getting better, that gives me motivation to keep going. It gives me confidence that I'm learning and improving and moving forward as a player. Even if things are tough, if I can see myself progressing, that's the most important thing. What are you doing after this Q&A? Good question. I've got training later on, so that's what I'll be doing after this Q&A. What do you do when you're injured? Morgan, go and see a physio if you can. Make sure you get a professional opinion on what's happening, and then you can adapt to it, and make sure you do your rehab properly so that you can come back fitter and stronger. How many keepers are at my club? There are 3 keepers at my club. So yeah, there's 3 of us obviously competing for the number 1 shirt. Right, I'll do a couple more minutes and then I'll have to head off. So 3 more questions. What's the gym like in Gibraltar? Callum, I train in a gym in Estepona where I live, so I don't know about gyms in Gibraltar, but the one in Estepona is very good. Who was the cook versus Europa? Someone who did some great pasta. Is it too hot to play now? No, it's not too hot. You're getting used to the heat. It's not too bad. Max, I'm just going to keep working hard, keep trying my best, keep learning and improving, and see what comes as a result of that. But yeah, I don't know what happens in the future. Yeah, Fuenlabrada in 2nd division, I know, incredible. Brilliant club, and I'm really glad that they're pushing on and succeeding. I love my time there, and to see them in the Segunda is incredible. How to reach the next level? You have to keep working, keep improving, keep getting better. I say the same things over and over again, and then try and contact as many teams as you can and see if you can get some responses and some opportunities. How's Gibraltar different to England? It's very interesting. I don't know in terms of football or in terms of life and culture, but it is very interesting to see some of the culture in Gibraltar. For example, the main road in Gibraltar is Winston Churchill Avenue, and there's red telephone boxes and things like that. So it is a lot of English culture in there as well, but it also has its own unique history and culture, which is incredible. Tips for shorter keepers: keep working on speed, keep working on spring, and improve on your technique. And don't worry about your height, that will come. 2 more questions. Send me some 2 good questions and I'll see what I can do. Thank you, Liam, I appreciate that, mate. What's your current job alongside football? James, I'm doing loads of different jobs. I'm doing a bit of coaching, I'm trying to make videos, I'm doing other things in terms of building websites and trying to build up a personal brand so I can bring products to you guys and new videos, and that's mainly what I spend my time on aside from football. So a multitude of different jobs, but obviously it is needed in order to live and to do what I'm trying to do in becoming a full-time pro. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's Q&A. I really appreciate it. Again, sorry that there wasn't one last week. but it was my birthday, so I was out and about exploring, and you'll see what happened on my birthday in the next episode of Keeping Goals, which is coming this Sunday at 1 p.m. So thank you for all your questions. I really appreciate it. Have a great week. Keep chasing improvement. Have a great time. Enjoy what you're doing. Keep working hard. And I'll see you on. Great to hear, Jamie. Send me a text. I'll see you on Sunday, and hopefully we can chat very, very soon. But next week we'll have another episode of live Q&A Thursday or Wednesday. But thank you for all for coming. Any other questions, let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them. But I'll see you on Sunday for the next episode of Keeping Goals. Thank you very much, guys, and I will speak to you in a bit. Have a nice evening. See you later.